Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Laurier Neptune version 3. Now before we dive into the watch, let's take a quick look at the packaging here. It comes in this cardboard box, which doesn't slide off all that easily, but there we go, we got it. Comes in this nice foam cardboard type insert here. Comes with a micro suede travel pouch. Has a card in here to put in between the watch and the bracelet, and also a screwdriver for sizing the bracelet links. So definitely a nice touch there. Put this back into the box. And set that off to the side here. Alright, so the MSRP for this watch is $499. You can get them from the website. Right now, a couple of the color combinations are out of stock, but I believe you can get this one, which is the blue and white colorway. So 316L stainless steel, a mix of brush and polished surfaces. The bevel here, or the chamfered edge, is polished, and the rest of the watch is brushed. Nice brushed links. Solid end link, solid links. We do have a milled clasp as well. The clasp is brushed here, polished on the edges. It's nice dual deployant pushers here. As I mentioned, a milled clasp. This portion here is stamped, but that's pretty standard. It does have 3 micro adjusts. Sizing the bracelet is very easy with the screwed links here. It does have drilled lugs. I really do appreciate drilled lugs. I know some people don't like them because it kind of interrupts the shape or the look of the case here, but I don't mind it. Is an aluminum bezel insert, Hesselite crystal, which is, I believe, essentially the same thing as acrylic or plexiglass, just different terminologies. It does have a very nice dome to it as well. Distorts the dial. So it looks and feels really nice and warm. You can definitely feel that it's plastic. It does have BGW9 lume. And the indices are painted on. These are not applied indices. The logo and name as well is all printed. So you can see here 200 meter, 660 feet. I really like the way this watch looks. I like the hands. I like almost everything about this watch. The only thing I don't really care for is a plexiglass crystal, but I have kind of come to appreciate plexiglass crystals. They do look warm and feel warm, as I mentioned. The only issue is that they scratch easily, but you can repair the light scratches on your own. And if you needed to replace the crystal, hopefully it's a common size that you can just take it to a watchmaker and have them replace it for you. Let's zoom back out here. Check out the bezel action. Feels very good to me. Can't turn it one-handed, so or one finger, I should say, so it's tight enough. 120 click bezel. Looks like it lines up pretty well there, better than Seiko at least. The crown is gigantic on this. It's a good size though. I mean, it's very easy to use. It does have the Miyota 90S5 movement, so it's hacking and hand winding. And it is a true no date movement, so it will not have the ghost date position. So right now I unscrewed the crown and we are in the hand winding position. So you're winding the mainspring and increasing the power reserve that's available. Next position out is hacking. The second hand has stopped. Then you can adjust the time. This handset's very nice. With the point on that minute hand, you know exactly where you're at. Second hand is very thin as well, but it does have that loomed triangle on there, so it's easy enough to see it. I really like the vintage look of this watch. It feels great on wrist, which is aided by these female end links, so the bracelet just drapes down right away. Case back is pretty plain. It's a solid case back, so you don't get to see the movement, and there's really no text on here, just a little bit of a artwork detail there going around the perimeter of that case back. The bracelet is sized up to an 8-inch wrist. Well, I shouldn't say a sized. It has enough links to get you to an 8-inch wrist. I have a 6.5-inch wrist, and I have 3 links left over. I did purchase this watch used, but I'm assuming these are all the links. So I guess it's 1 other inch. Yeah, it probably is right on at 8.5 inches. Might be a tight fit at 8.5-inch wrist, but anyway, there we go. Okay, let's go over the dimensions of this watch. I think it's a great size for my 6.5-inch wrist. Lug to lug, we have 47.2 millimeter diameter, 39 millimeter. Thickness on this is 13 millimeter. So it is a little bit thick, especially considering it has the Miyota 9000 series movement. But this plexiglass crystal is very thick, so that, of course, increases the overall thickness. Lug width is 20, and that does taper down nicely to 16. So it definitely aids to comfort on wrist. Oop, almost lost the watch there. I was pushing in these 2 pushers here, so that's why it opened up on me. So anyway. And the crown size on this, nice and big at 7.5, especially considering the slimness of the case. But very easy to get a purchase of and manipulate that crown. Also, the movement is 8 beats per second, and I think it's about 42 hours of power reserve. Loom on this again is BGW9. Looks like the loom pip is loomed, but nothing else will be on this bezel. So let's take a look at it compared to my Seiko SKX for a size comparison, and then we'll get into the loom here. All right, here we go. So the SKX is 42 by 47. So lug to lug is the same on these. They're very, very close in size, but diameter is a bit different. You can tell because the lugs, well, also is 20 millimeter lug width, but they come in, they're kind of pointy here. Come in close and they're a bit long. If you compare that to the lugs on the SKX, these are kind of short. Squat lugs, these are long, slender lugs. And thickness will be pretty similar, but Laurier looks quite a bit thinner due to that thin mid case. The bezel's fairly thin as well. So let's get this on. We'll get this on wrist, and we can go to the loom. So again, I have a 6.5-inch wrist. It's a 52 millimeter wristband, and lug to lug on this is 47.2. I think it looks good. Actually, it reminds me quite a bit of my Tudor Black Bay. I may have to put together a comparison video between this and the Black Bay 58, I guess. These remind me of hands that you would find on an Omega, the Omega Seamaster 300. All right, let's zoom out here, and then we can get into the loom comparison of the video. If you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. I would greatly appreciate it. Like the video and leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this watch. This is the third Laurier I've had my hands on. The first one was the Laurier Gemini, which was loaned in by my friend Bobby Legs. Geez, I don't know, over a year ago now. Time kind of flies here. So yeah, I like almost everything about this watch, really. I think very well could become a keeper in my collection. Alrighty, let's pause the video and I'll come right back with the lume. Alright, so of course on the left we have the Laurier Neptune version 3 BGW9 lume, and on the right my SKX 009. I guess I didn't shake it enough because it second hand isn't moving, but anyway, good enough for the lume comparison. I would give it to the Laurier Neptune, I guess. It's kind of hard to tell because they're different colors of lume, but I would say the Laurier is maybe a little bit brighter. What's kind of funny is the way I'm looking at it from where my eyeball is. I can see the distortion of the plexiglass crystal, which you can't see from the camera, but I'll wait a few more seconds here and then I'll go ahead and angle this at the angle, and you guys can appreciate the distortion as well with that plexiglass crystal. So let's move the SKX out of the way. Oh, camera didn't like that. I'll just turn the backlights on here. I think I might have shown this distortion already, but it's kind of neat to see that. So anyway, that will conclude today's video. As always, thank you for taking the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.